Serving an LDS mission in Las Vegas, Nevada, my companion and I had come back from a conference in which we had been invited to be brave in our proselyting. We came to a stop at a busy intersection, notorious in Las Vegas. I sat in the passenger side gazing out the window when suddenly I heard the click of the driver door. In the time that it took to turn my head towards my companion, he who, mind you, was the driver, had not only exited the vehicle, but with a Book of Mormon in hand was preaching to the car next to us at the stoplight. Now, I share this experience not to talk about the effectiveness of it, nor the latent legal or safety concerns with it, but rather to introduce my topic, which is confidence. We all have those friends or even mission companions who are so confident that we wonder what they couldn't get away with. So today I'm going to tell you first, why confidence is so important. Second, why we have such low levels of confidence in our society today. And third, and most importantly, how you can be more confident. It shouldn't come as a surprise that confidence is linked with a variety of positive outcomes. In fact, hundreds of peer-reviewed articles have shown that confidence leads to great business success. This is true for entrepreneurs, women in business, executives, and a variety of others. And don't even get me started on how confidence is linked with success in dating. I know this is BYU, but I promise this isn't that kind of speech. So what I really want to get to is what renowned author Virginia Woolf titled from her quote that says, "Without self-confidence, we are as babes in the cradle, wandering about with no purpose, nor rhyme, nor reason." So how did we get here? Well, it might not come as a surprise either that personal things in our lives can lead to lower confidence, but as well as to much higher stakes with epidemic levels in proportion. Something like bullying when you were a child, or, as we've talked about today, social media can have a great impact on our confidence levels. While research doesn't necessarily agree of how social media affects confidence directly, they do agree that social media raises our social comparisons. Not necessarily something bad, but to such a heightened degree can have negative effects. One particular study published in 2020 in Sage Journals found that Instagram use in particular led to a 23% increase in social comparisons, which then led to a staggering 22 percentage point decrease in all participants' confidence levels. Sheesh, what horrible things a little app on your phone can do to you. So what do we do about it? Well, that third and final point is, how can we get more confidence? You might have heard of that, famous old phrase, fake it till you make it. And it's actually more effective than you think, especially when you consider what TED Education speaker Amy Cuddy identified. She said that faking it could actually be a powerful segue from pretending into becoming. And she actually teaches us how to accomplish that through power posing, the art of physically increasing your presence in the room, almost type of physical self-affirmation. But I want to go even a step beyond this, from fake it till you make it into faith it till you make it. See what I did there? You see, when we understand our divine identity and our potential, we can have much greater confidence in our lives. This is perfectly summarized by Elder Brian K. Taylor of the 70, who on BYU campus said, "An understanding of God's identity and our divine identities is a vital foundation to happiness and success, as well as for avoiding the identity and purpose crisis we see around us today." Now, when I drafted this speech a couple weeks ago, I felt really confident in it, you might say. But then in watching General Conference, the prophet of the Lord today spoke about this very topic, and so I paid attention. You see, in April 2025 General Conference, President Russell M. Nelson said, quote, in the Lord's own words, "Charity and virtue open the way to having confidence before God." Funny how these attributes that he identifies are the exact antithesis of social media. Instead of having negative comments online that are hateful, he invites us to be charitable peacemakers. And instead of falling into these hateful algorithms, he invites us to garnish our thoughts with virtue unceasingly. Like my missionary companion who virtuously, and I think with charity in his heart, tried to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ, we too can follow these attributes and apply them into our lives to have confidence not only before God, but before our fellow man. Understanding your divine identity and internalizing it can lead you to be a more confident child of God.